Alright guys, so we're officially starting our seminar now. So day 2 of our Combatives Primer seminar. Thank you guys who are joining us again today, and those who are joining us for the first time today. Glad to have you guys. Just some quick introductions. I'm Pastor Guru Vince Alvarez. Run Dojo Ministries here, and Noah here is going to be teaching us our Jiu-Jitsu portion for today. So again, Combatives Primer, right? The idea is we're teaching you the basics of fighting techniques, not specifically linking to any one system, or giving you fighting capability, and we're giving you the basics to get you started, okay? So if you feel awkward and weird and like you're not doing it perfectly, of course you're like day 1 or day 2 into this, that's fine. Take your time, learn, have fun, all right? Now, we do want to make sure you guys are being safe as we're doing this, all right? A few housekeeping things. If you enjoy what we're doing here and you want to join us on Sundays when we have our usual training, you can check out the QR code in the back so you can see our schedule and a few other details about Dojo Ministries. And likewise, if you feel like this is a great program, glad it was free, but I'd like to support, you have the QR code for the church's Venmo account, and you can send us some support that way financially, and we'd love to have that. If not, you being here is a great support as well. So, with that, a few things. More housekeeping. We do have a camera in the back so that we can take this footage, condense it later. We have a videographer who's going to be helping us out with that. And he's going to, if you forget hot stuff that you learned today, that's fine, because you're going to have that information for you down the line when we send the video out for you guys to learn again. Okay? Keep the middle open for technique purposes so that we can make sure we get a clear shot for the video, and afterwards we can check each other out, okay? About that. Please be safe. Don't actually choke each other out. Just because you signed a waiver does not mean I want to put that waiver on the table between you and some lawyers, okay? So, be safe, have fun, work with people. We are doing jiu-jitsu, we are grappling, we are going to be in close contact. Ladies, if you don't feel comfortable rolling with a guy, that's absolutely fine. Just roll with some girls. It's got to be 3 of you. Do that, switch off that. Guys, if the girl's not comfortable rolling with you, awesome, okay, let him roll with the lady, and you can choke no on me out, okay? So, if you are comfortable, let them know. Be respectful, be kind. We are in close contact. There's a very high possibility of your sweat ending up on someone else, vice versa. That's just the reality of jiu-jitsu. We're going to keep it at a really low intensity today. We're going maybe 20-30%, all right? This is not the IBJJs, all right? We're not trying to snap ankles and choke people out for real. So be safe, be kind. We're just practicing techniques. If afterwards you want to roll around and roll with Noah, I know AJ over here just wants to see how badly he can't choke out Noah. All right, so you can do that afterwards when everyone else is gone, and then you can be a little bit more reckless. But for here, we're here to learn, we're here to be safe, we're here to help each other out and get these basic techniques down. So, have a good time today. Anything else I need to say?
Yeah.
No? Yeah,
I want to talk about the safety factors of jiu-jitsu. With jiu-jitsu, we're trying to choke people out, you're trying to break limbs, trying to do all that. Like Vince said, we're going to go at a low intensity. We're going to be careful. Like I said, we don't want to involve insurance or anything. We just want to be safe, we want to have fun, and we want to learn the techniques. So when I mean tap, I mean if me and Vince are partners, and we're doing something, and I feel either a slight pressure or anything, you tap immediately. So it can be just like this, or a verbal tap is just tap, 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 just out loud. And right when that happens, what you want to do as the partner who's choking them out is you want to let go immediately. Of whatever position you're in, let go immediately.
Yeah. Real quick, just to practice that so we all know what we're doing. Go ahead and take one hand. All right. I want you to tap 3 times on your shoulder. I want you to do that again, but say tap every time you tap on your shoulder. Tap, tap, tap. All right. If you feel any pain, if you feel any pressure, if you start having a panic attack, tap, tap, tap. And the tap is absolute. For safety purposes, it's absolute. All right? Please don't make Noah and I choke you out for someone else's safety. Because we can, we will, and we'll get it on video and put it on YouTube. Maybe. All right? In all seriousness, the tap's absolute so that everyone's having fun, being safe. We want you going home and bragging about this to your families. Not we go to your family and say, we weren't safe enough. All right? Everyone goes home safe, as friends, with everybody part intact and functioning as it's supposed to. Okay? So, there's no egos here on the mat. Alright? Be humble, be safe, be kind. We're going to say that 1,000 times over. Learn techniques, and then when you're ready to actually roll, you'll be able to do so safely. Today, assume everyone's at ground zero. We don't know what we're doing. We're all learning. Don't need to prove anything. Okay? Nothing's proven. Everything's one.
Yeah, and then like I said, if you guys need water, need to go to the bathroom, go. We're not. You guys don't have to raise your hand or anything. Just go. I'm gonna be doing water breaks every 2 exercises. So just bring water. We have water in the back as well and some snacks during our break times. But yeah, with that, let's get started.
Let's go ahead and
You're not.
okay. Let's go ahead and pray as a group real quick, and then I'm gonna hand it off to Noah completely. All right. Let's pray. Lord, thank you today. Thank you for watching over us and our group as we go into the second day of Combatives Primer. Please watch over us as we do Jiu-Jitsu. Thank you for these mats that we can roll around and not hurting ourselves as we work with each other. I pray for this time now. Help us all to have a good, safe time. Help us to learn techniques. Help us glorify you as we grapple. Help us to wrestle with you, not only with our skill set, but also our salvation and our souls. And that's what's most important. So thank you, Lord, for all that you've done, all that you're doing. Guide Noah and give him clarity of his words as he teaches us today. And we do all things to your glory. It's in your name we joyfully and thankfully pray. Amen.
All right, you guys. So if you guys are here, if you guys didn't know, like yesterday, we taught the pummeling and the arm drag. So with pummeling, what you're gonna do is with your partner, you're gonna hug. One arm is gonna be underneath his arm, and his arm is gonna be doing the same thing on the other side. So with this, I'm gonna keep it right here. With his arm underneath and my hand over, I'm gonna grab his tricep, and he's gonna do the same thing on the other side. So right now, we're close contact and we're right here. Now, for the pummeling technique, we're gonna let go of his tricep, and we're gonna swim inside, and then we're gonna switch. So now, he's gonna be doing the same thing on the other side. Boom, and then again, and you're just doing this over and over just to practice that technique for the future techniques that we're gonna go over. So we're just gonna do this over and over. If you guys wanna grab your partner, we're gonna go. Ready? So, another thing, sorry, I forgot to mention, I'm gonna say this after every exercise, it's ready, break. I'm just gonna go like this, ready, break. That's just a jiu-jitsu thing, we say 3, 2, 1, clap. I'm gonna do it, ready, break, okay? Ready, break. Actually, guys.
What we're teaching with Combatives Prime, we're trying to teach it backyard style, meaning you take this home, you guys are at a barbecue with some friends, and so you get to talking over 4th of July. Oh, you learned some jiu-jitsu? Here, show me some, all right? And then it's like, how do I show you? So, with this drill here, because this is our basis here for both yesterday and today, right? If one of them are in, right? We're gonna basically get our elbow inside their armpit, right? And then just think left side, right side, all right? You take it, you swim in on the left side. Right now, Hunter and I are both gonna swim in with our left, then we're gonna switch to our right. So, left hand, I just need to think about swim my left hand into the elbow and uppercut into his armpit. And once I'm doing that, he's doing that too. And then also think of your shoulders is gonna swap, right? Now our left shoulder is touching. Now we're gonna swing right hand. I go right, he goes right. Our shoulders should touch right here, all right? It should look like this weird dance. Because if you do with enough choreography, it does look like dancing, right? So the little dance of the pommel right here. Swim right, swim left, swim right, swim left, all right? If you remember that, you'll remember it for when you're practicing and for when you're teaching others, okay? Ready, break. Technique.
Shepard's gonna be my partner, and like I said, this is a self-defense seminar, so we're gonna practice if somebody were to grab you from both behind and in front. So we're gonna start off first, is we're gonna start from the behind. If Shepard does grab me from behind like that, and it's over my arms, Shepard can pick me up from this position if he wanted to. So what you're gonna wanna do first is drop that weight forward and drop it down. So now Shepard tries to lift me up. He's having a way harder time to do it. So when you're right here, you drop that weight and you're sticking those hips out at him. It's like you're putting your butt toward him because you want him away from you. So when you're right there, at that same time, you're gonna chicken wing out. It sounds weird, but when you put it all together, it pops and locks him at the same time, and it creates like a shot. So if I'm right here and he's going, and I just drop, and I go right here, that's what you want to do. So you're going again, I'm gonna drop and open up at the same time. And it's all an immediate thing. It's not just, I'm gonna go right here, I'm gonna try and fight him. Because if I try and fight him, and I'm trying to go like this, especially if he's bigger than me, I'm not gonna break his lock. So what you're gonna wanna do is drop, put the hip out, and pop out. So from this position, his hands are free, you're gonna turn around, and you're gonna push, and you're gonna run away. Or, like I said, if you're right here, you're in a corner or something, you're getting away, he's grabbing, you pop him off, you hit that out, and you create distance from him, and then you push, and you're out of it. Any questions with this technique?
Something to point out with what Noah's doing, right? With Jiu-Jitsu, it's designed to use leverage rather than power, right? You don't need to be a weightlifter to make this work, right? Noah's a big guy. He can make any technique work. I'm smaller than him, right? If he's doing this and I try to muscle it, it's not gonna happen, right? I can muscle it all day long, he can squeeze me harder, all right? It's all technique, it's all leverage. So focus on the technique and you'll get it right, all right? If you try to muscle it, you're doing it wrong. So even right here, much smaller guy, you're gonna notice, like you said, butt's gonna go to the hips. That way, when you're lifting something, you get as close as you can to it so that you have leverage and power behind your move. You start bending over, you start losing muscle groups that you can work with. So I'm gonna take away those muscle groups with leverage. And then as I do that, I'm going down. Notice my shoulder is sinking and my elbow is sinking to get that chicken wing in. So you put those techniques together, it's all technique. Hold me as tight as you can, right? Hold me as tight as you can. He is trying, right? You can hear my voice changing a little bit, right? He's trying to squeeze the air in. It's all technique. So especially for you ladies, don't try to muscle it. You're not gonna be stronger than the guys. I don't care what feminists say, okay? Don't muscle it, technique it.
Perfect. So let's grab a partner. Let's focus on that technique. Ready, break.
So, real quick. Right now when we're doing a technique, think of it, you are adding multiple dimensions, all right? So like, for a dimension is like what direction energy is going, right? So someone's going forward, someone's going back, side, left, right. Am I turning or not? When someone's attacking you, they can only really address one or two dimensions. So you're trying to add 2-3 dimensions to your your defense in order to break their one technique. So when Noah's squeezing me, right, and he's really squeezing me, right? You can hear my voice, all right? He's squeezing. Go ahead, get it up, right? His one dimension is to squeeze around me, and he's trying to lift me up. To lift me up, he has to focus on lifting me up. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna give him 3 different things to work with at the same time, right? You ever try to have a conversation with like 3 people at the same time? Even if you're texting them, right? Doesn't work. For moms, they can do it with their kids, but everyone else, not really, right? So Noah's squeezing me. I'm not just gonna go down and lift my hands. Notice what I'm doing. I'm going down, I'm pushing back, I'm lifting up. And that's all technique. So if I just try to go down and he's trying to lift me, so he's squeezing and lifting. If I just try to go down, he still has me. If I just try to chicken wing up, he still has me. If I just try to, hip check him with my butt, he still has me. But if I add all 3 dimensions, no matter how tight he squeezes me, right? He's squeezing. Even if I don't fully break this, now I have options. And I've taken away his option to lift me up. So you're feeling right now, gosh, that's a lot of things going on. How do you think he feels? Because I just took away his goal. So, multiple dimensions. Lifting up, pushing back, squatting down. Add all 3 in and you have the technique, okay? Ready, break.
Technique is something that you guys are probably gonna get in more than the over is gonna be the under. So Shepard is behind me, he has that under. This is where you're most likely gonna get lifted up by the person. So Shep, like I said, he can easily lift it from right there. So the first thing that you wanna do, just like the other technique, is drop that weight. So when dropping that weight, Shepard tries to lift me up, he's having a way harder time because I'm just seated in my weight. So when you're right here, let's take a minute. And I know in real life, you're gonna be like, okay, this is actually happening. Okay, let's try and get out. Look at his hands. If his hands are in this type of formation like this, and one hand is over the other one like this, here, should let go real quick. And he's grabbing like this. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna grab his hand and you're gonna crunch his fingers towards it like this so it can look like this. So when right there, you're breaking the grip. He's right here, and I'm dropped like this. My hip is back, and I'm fighting right here. Both hands on it, and you're grabbing the overhand and crunching his fingers like this, right here. So when you're right here, you're breaking his grip, you're ripping it out, and now you have this arm, and you pop it again, just like that. So I'm gonna do it one more time. Shepherd grabs me. I'm standing straight up. Drop your weight. Look down. Okay, I have two hands. One hand is over. I'm gonna grab that overhand, and I'm gonna crunch his fingers towards it so it looks like this. When like that, it's locking it, and I can peel it off like this, and I hit back, just like that. When I hit back, push them away, and run out, or just get out of the position. Everybody good with that? Any questions? All right, ready, break.
Sometimes you're struggling with especially if you have smaller hands, and when he grabs around you, anytime you're going on the fingers, especially if he's got a good gable grip like this, put your fingertips on his nails, all right? When it comes, if you do like small circle jiu-jitsu where there's a lot of fingertip manipulation, you want to use the whole finger to your advantage. That way you get the leverage back here. Same when you're squishing the fingers over here, you want that advantage of leverage, right? So you find the nails and squish them in, right? He's holding on as tight as he can. If he's gonna grab you, grab him back, all right? Make this grip work against him by squeezing it tighter than they can hold, right? Now you're gonna come here and squeeze, right? Let's demonstrate, hand out like this. If I'm trying to do a finger lock on Noah, right? We're not gonna show you this today, but you get this one for free, all right? Go ahead, it's a chance. If I'm trying to finger lock Noah, you have, index finger, you got these three sections here of your finger. If I try to push here, right, he can resist that. Go ahead, resist, right? He can resist that. If I'm even right here, he can still resist that. If I go right to his fingertip, right, I can get him barking like a dog, back, right? But I need, same principle right here. If he grabs me on a shirt, right, I can do the same kind of technique by squishing his thumb into his fist. But if I squish on the first joint here, I'm really not gonna get it. If I get that fingertip right here, he lets go, all right? Same thing right here, he grabs. Anytime you're aiming for the fingers, use the whole finger to your advantage, find that fingernail and squish it, all right? Find the tip of that finger and pull it, all right? You find the right place to pull, it's always gonna work. If you try to pull the wrong place, you're just wasting effort, all right?
All right, we're gonna do now from the front, Shepherd. So now if you're gonna be grabbed from the front, side. So Shepherd, if Shepherd grabs me, hands in, it's gonna be that same technique, just like from behind. So again, you're gonna drop your weight, and you're gonna chicken wing out. But this time, his head is right here. And like I said, this is for self-defense. This is not just jiu-jitsu where there's no rules on the streets. What's open? You have your groin, you have your knee and his groin, you have anything, his stomach, your hands are free as well. Use whatever is necessary to get out of this position. Today, we're just gonna work on the technique. But I'm just letting you guys know in a street fight, use your knees, use your foot, whatever you can get to get out. So again, we're gonna go right here, we're gonna drop and chicken wing out, just like that. And now since you're right here, you can push out, you can knock, you can punch him in the face, whatever you want. But the whole technique is if he grabs you right here, it's quick. It's quick. It's one right there. You're pushing him away. Okay? Yes.
So you can turn your head when you drop, right?
Yeah. The only reason why I turn my head is because Shepherd, she's right here. If I drop down right there, I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
it's
myself.
really fast. I just want to make sure everybody
Yeah.
knows to turn your head.
Yes. Turn your head, please. Don't start hitting each other on the head. So if you're right here, I'm gonna do it one more time. So I turn my head, go right here, and turn out and push them away. Partners, be careful as well. Try and turn your head too, so you guys don't start bonking heads together, okay? Ready? Break. All right, you guys. So now this one, we showed the over one. Shepherd's now gonna do when it's underneath your arms. Shepherd grabs me underneath, and we're right here. There's two techniques to this. The first one that you guys want to do is his face is open, right? Like I said, this is on the streets. This is a street fight. You nod his face and stuff like that. But to really create that pressure, he still squeezes me as tight as he can. You can feel my voice going higher a little bit. So when you're right here, your forearm is gonna go on his neck. What you're gonna do is you're gonna lift up your arm and you're gonna swim it underneath right here. And now that pressure, if he tries to push, I'm just pushing him back like this. And all that neck pressure right here, he can't pull and squeeze me as much as he can because I have that on right here. I'm building a foundation where he can't push me at all, or he can't squeeze me at all. So when I'm right here, now I'm able to grip it away, I'm able to push him that way, so he can't squeeze me. The second technique is when I fish under. Remember that pummeling technique that I showed you guys before? This is where it comes in perspective. He grabs me like this, I pummel, and I fish my arm underneath like this, and I create that space. Now over right here, and this is where the fun part happens, where you can trip. So you're right here, and you grab him back, you put your hips back, and now you're behind him. So when you're right here, that's when you do it, you go right here, kick that foot back, you trip him down right there. So the first one we're gonna work on is just creating that space and creating that foundation, forearm on the neck. Like I said, be careful with this, we're here to have fun. Don't try and put as much pressure as you guys can, just practice the moves, and we'll regroup and do the trick. So again, I'm gonna do it one more time. Boom, he grabs, push that forearm right here, and try and push it right there, and just create that space. So as much as Shepard wants to try to squeeze me, he can't because my forearm is on his neck. It's a very sensitive spot.
Yeah, so to add on, from yesterday when we were doing our techniques, we had our number 6 where we had that straight with the assist. That's the same, that principle applies here, right? So Shepard's grabbing me, right? Basically that straight punch was my forearm, and I'm assisting it here. Now what he's using, he understands where the head goes, the body follows, right? So right now, he wants me to go back, so his head needs to go forward, right? So what Noah's teaching you guys is make this principle where the head goes, the body follows, to your advantage. Push his head back. Notice he went from a really tight grip, and now I create space. Also, shoot that butt back, all right? Because if he gets my shoulders over my butt, I'm going down, right? So if he's here, he's squeezing, boom, push back. Also, if you want to get real mean with it, you can do the same thing with the eyes. You can do the same thing with the nose. You can do the same with his thumb. There's a thing called clavicle notch where your clavicle bones meet right here, thumb right there. All right, Shepard don't like that. All right, so that all works. This is the nice way. This is the nice you get with this, okay? Please don't poke anyone in the eye. All right, and then we go here. When we swim in, you can also play them off each other, right? Maybe you try to push off and this dude's just a hoss, right? It's like he's not getting off. Okay, hit from right here, swim. So if you want to swim in and you can't get that opening, you just tighten up right here, right? If I try to swim in and I can't get in here, create that opening, and then swim in, and then trick. Real quick, let's go over back falls.
Yeah.
When you're falling, don't try to catch yourself like this. If you want to see the inside of your elbow, that's how you do it. You don't want to see the inside of your elbow, okay? All right? So, some of you's like, oh, that's gross. Okay, let's keep it not gross. Back falls. When you are falling down, we're all letting each other fall. Squat down, roll onto your butt, slap the mat. All right? Use bend your arm and slap the mat. And that's how you don't take it all straight to your lungs. Take the impact on your hands. All right? If you are taking someone down, hold them so they fall. All right? This is all about control. You can control how hard they fall by being nice about it, okay? Don't try to catch yourself like this. That's how you're going to break your arm. Squat down to your butt. And let yourself go down, okay? So, do you want to run through break ball real quick?
Yeah, let's all create space with each other, and then all we're gonna do is just roll on our backs. Have you guys ever seen a roly-poly? A roly person? We're basically all gonna act like a roly-poly. We're just gonna slap onto the ground. So again, just like Vince demonstrated, create space with everybody. You guys can now spread out a little bit.
Middle.
Yeah, in the middle as well, please. Just create space. All you guys wanna do, so all you guys are gonna do again is squat down, roll into it, slap the mat just like that. So you're bracing yourself on that fall. Perfect. There you go.
Make sure you tuck your chin when you do this because you want to prevent your head from bouncing off the ground. So as you fall, you go down and you keep your chin tucked in so that way your head's not doing this number, all right? Principle of this is you actually get thrown, you don't want to get concussion from it. That's what they're trying to do when they throw you down. So you are putting impact on your hands so your head is clear. Because you can legit throw yourself on the ground and still be okay. But because you're taking the force and putting it where it's not going to hurt you. So keep your chin tucked in, suck the mat, and it's going to your hands rather than to your whole body, right? If someone's like suplexing me and actually throwing me on the ground, they want my head to do this. You can mitigate some of that by breaking, literally what we're doing, we are breaking the fall rather than the fall breaking us, okay? So, practice that a couple more times, sorry, yeah.
Is everybody feel comfortable with it? Let's practice it 1 or 2 more times, and we're gonna move on to our technique. Perfect. All right. Grab a partner. We're gonna go over that first initial break, just off that form on that neck. All right, you guys. So now this is where the fun part happens. This is when we're gonna start getting on the ground after this sweep, okay? So he's gonna grab me, just like I said. I'm gonna try and create that distance. Like I said, if he's close to me like this, I'm still trying to mitigate. All I want is my form to slide underneath. It's a street fight. Try to get dirty. Like I said, you still have your knees right here too in that groin area. When you're right here and you push off right here, now I create that release pressure off me, and now you can swim under just like that pummeling technique that we'll practice. So now when you're right here, you're gonna shift your hips onto the opposite side. So my right hip is gonna end up on his right hip. So it's gonna be the same side, I'm sorry. When you're right here, this leg is gonna go behind his leg. So you're right here, like go real quick. When you're right here, you're not just gonna try and muscle him down, especially if he's a bigger opponent. You guys wanna ensure, so when your leg is behind, you're gonna kick out this way. So when you're going, you're pulling and you're pushing at the same time. You're kicking out this way. So in reality, it's gonna look like this. Going, and I have that pressure right here, and I pump underneath. Now I'm right here. And now he's gonna brace his fall just like we practiced, and I'll just let that. Okay? Like I said, don't go that hard on your opponent, but just practice the technique.
Go to the intensity you want that.
I'll go one more time. This is the intensity that I want you guys at. I'm gonna go right here, practice the movement, underneath, down right here, and I'm gonna go right here. Now just like that. That's all you want. Like I said, this is only the beginning of jiu-jitsu. There's other sweeps where you can also go like this. You're going right here, and you just want to throw them all the way that way as well. So that's the advanced technique. But right now we're just gonna focus on that first technique of just pummeling that way, okay?
Quick tip on intensity, right? So, jiu-jitsu is all about control, and jiu-jitsu is about you can control them without having to hurt them, right? No one's been saying self-defense, self-defense, self-defense. Absolutely. But sometimes self-defense is in a circumstance where you really don't want to hurt the person, right? You're at the barbecue at the 4th of July on Thursday. You run into that one cousin, that one uncle who's just not having a good day. Do you really want to put them in the hospital just because they need an attitude adjustment? If you're nodding your head, no, right? Some people it's just like, hey, you need to control them and you need to put them on the ground so you can get them to calm down. So practice that intensity of, hey, I just need you to stop. By the way, I wrestle with my little cousins all the time. I still do jiu-jitsu on them. None of them have gone to the hospital doing these techniques because just like if Noah's coming in and he sweeps me, the intensity that I'll go at is wee, right? The difference between in this technique, playing with my cousins and on the street, I'm going 100%. I want him bouncing off the ground because I want to go. With my little cousins, I'm bouncing them off a bed and they want to go again. All right? Right now, we want to go again. Okay? Just like a roller coaster at Disneyland, we want to go again. So keep the intensity where you can control them. By the way, you have control, right? You have that underhook, you have this hand. So you can control how they fall. If you go for the first sweep, right? Go right here, under, go right here. He's holding me right here. We're dancing. Look. Da, 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 da. Right? And we're just dancing nice and slow. Okay? So, yeah, keep it safe. You have a chance to practice that safety and low intensity right now. Take it. Right?
All right, you guys. Ready? Break. If I can have your eyes over here, this is where we're going to move on to the ground game. Okay, so let's say Shepherd, for example, grabs me just as we've been practicing. I do the same thing. I create that frame. I fish underneath, and I take him down, right? Now, initially, with that self-defense, if I need to get away, I keep him on the ground and I run, right? But let's say, like Vince said, you need to restrain him, or you need to keep him down on this ground. So when I flip him, or when I trip him, now he's on the ground like this. There's two ways that you can end up when you're offensive, when you're the one now trying to keep him down. You can end up in side control, or you can end up on mount. Side control is where you're gonna go right here. Swing, flip around a little bit. So you go this way. Perfect. So now when he's down right here, when I get down this way, this is called side control 1. This is that chest to chest pressure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this first arm, I'm gonna put it underneath both his hamstrings right here. And I'm putting it on the ground. So now he's locked right here. This other arm is gonna fish underneath his neck right here. And now we're gonna do the most important part of this technique, is the chest to chest pressure. So when I'm right here and I'm right here, I'm gonna put as much pressure as I can on that chest, stick my butt out a little bit, and if you guys can hear, right there, that's all my pressure on his chest right there. So Shepherd tries to get out, go ahead, Shep. I'm just keeping that pressure on his chest, and I'm keeping that pressure right there. So that's the first side control. I'm gonna do it one more time. I trip him, now we're right here. First arm is gonna go right here, behind it, on his hamstrings, on the ground. Other arm is gonna go behind his neck. And now I'm gonna put my chest onto his chest, and I'm gonna put all that pressure on right there. So now when he tries to get up, I'm just keeping him right here. And I'm just keeping that chest, and I'm following him. If he wants to keep going, he's going this way, I'm just following him with that chest to chest pressure. All right?
Real quick, pointers on this with chest to chest pressure. It's extremely important, again, proper technique. Think of it, we're saying chest to chest, heart to heart. If you see the logos on the t-shirt, I'm putting my logo on his logo, all right? Because if I could, I'm 170 pounds. I'm a bit lighter than some of the guys here. But I can make myself feel like 300 pounds with the right technique. Now, when I'm down here, or when Noah's down here, he only had 3 points of contact putting weight on the ground, okay? Meaning, his chest was on Shepherd going towards the ground. If you notice over here, either both knees are down on the ground, both toes, and no knees, or one knee, one toe. If I'm here, right, it was chest, I had 7 points of contact on the ground, right? That's even weight distribution. If I'm here with Shepherd and I have like this hand here and here, here, and I'm here, Shepherd, go ahead, like talking. Can you talk normally? Yeah. Yeah, he's talking normally. I can put all my weight here as much as I want. He's gonna be fine, right? Watch. Right. Right here, again, I'm gonna take my hands so I'm controlling here. I have 5 points of contact, 4 points of contact. All right, 3 points of contact. I don't know if you just heard the whisper of pain that Shepherd just gave, but he gave it on 3 points of contact, right? Even, go ahead, swap up. With Noah over here, all right? He's a bigger guy than me. If I try to keep as many points of contact on the ground, he's gonna roll me like crazy, right? Go ahead, I'm gonna try to keep him down. Down, right, I'm gone. 3 points of contact, go. I'm not really doing much right now. I'm just putting my weight on it, right? So with your partners, take a second and feel that contact. If your partner isn't wheezing on the bottom, you're not doing it right. Even Allison, our smallest member here right now, she could keep Noah down with proper chest-to-chest pressure, all right? You just put the right amount of weight in the right spot, you're gonna keep him down. But if you make him carry your weight, right? If I carry my weight for him, he's gonna flip me. If I make him carry my weight, he's gonna stay down, okay? So, back to you.
Any questions? You guys want me to do it one more time? Yeah. Yeah? All right. So boom, I get him down on the ground. Go ahead. So now he's right there. First arm is going to be right here on his hammies on the ground. Second arm, or the arm closest to his head, is going to be behind his neck, and he's going to be in the little crevice right here between my bicep and my forearm, and his neck is going to be right there. Now that chest to chest pressure is going to go right here, heart to heart or chest to chest, and you're going to put those knees out right here, and you're just going to go right there. Or you can go on your on your feet right there, just like that. All right? We all good? Ready, break. All right, you guys, I'm gonna show the technique, and when they follow in, I'll show them after. We're gonna keep moving. So then again, I'm gonna practice from the start. Shepherd grabs me, I create that frame first, I push on, I swim in, and I take him down. When I take him down, now we're right here. Switch this way. One more time. When we're right here, boom, I create that 1, 2, chest to chest pressure. So now the other one, this is side control 1. There's 6 technical side controls that you can do. I'm gonna show you guys 2. The next one is the next one, which is side control 2. So this one, instead of this arm in the back going on his hamstring, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna let go of that hamstring and you're gonna fish this underneath his arm right here. So when you're right here, your base is like this with that chest to chest. What you're gonna wanna do, if you guys can loop back this way, if you guys wanna see the way my legs go, when I'm right here and I loop underneath, my legs are gonna switch like a scissor, like this. So I'm gonna be laying down on my hip. I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna go like this. So when I'm right here, Shepherd, he's big and strong. Go ahead, try and get out. So Shepherd can't go that way. If he goes and tries to push this way, I have this underhook, is what we call it right here. He tries to fish out and try to push out, I just put that pressure on him. If he tries to go that way, my whole body is this way. All right? So I'm gonna show you guys one more time. We have that chest to chest. And then number 2 is I let go in the back, I fish it underneath right here, and it's like his armpit. I wanna put my bicep on his armpit. When I'm right here, my left leg is gonna shoot back and my right leg is gonna shoot forward. So it's gonna be like a scissor. So I'm right here, and now I'm just gonna switch this way. And now I'm laying just like this. I'm just looking and I'm waiting, and he's restrained right here. Any questions?
Quick tip. So I've noticed showing this. Go ahead, go back to the side control. As he's showing this, it's natural. What you're gonna see is right now he's chest to chest, and then as he switches that arm to go in, it's natural. You're gonna see, you saw his chest kind of coming off chest to chest to switch to side control 2, right? That's normal when you're learning it. However, ideally, you want to keep chest to chest pressure from here to here, and then even on the scissor. You don't. As you go back, if you take your chest off chest to chest, you are literally creating an opening that the opponent can work off of, right? If you're trying to keep him down, maintain that chest to chest pressure, right? So, right now, if he's keeping that chest to chest pressure down, even if Shepherd's struggling the whole time, he's constantly being pressed down as Noah moves to the next position, right? Again, keep that contact, keep that connection, and you, 1, have a constant base for you to move off of, and 2, you're keeping that pressure on until he stays where you want to stay, but you move where you want to move, okay? So it's natural to create that opening, but once you understand where you're going, keep that chest-to-chest pressure. Even though he's on his ribs, going straight to his chest, he still keep being heart to heart, going down to the chest, okay? So keep that pressure down.
And like I said, from here, you're trying to just restrain him. Like I said, he's that drunk uncle, whatever, cousin, whatever, and you just want to keep him right here. And keep him right here. Like I said, if you're on the street or anything, there's other ways to be mean. Like Vince likes to say, you go right here and break his arm just like this. You can punch him in the face, whatever it is. But for the self-defense purpose and the technique right now, just focus on that. I'm gonna show it one more time, okay? We're gonna go boom, from right here, maintaining that chest-to-chest pressure. I'm gonna scoop right here, underneath his arm, and I'm gonna scissor my legs and keeping that pressure, and now I'm just right here. Any questions? All right, we're gonna switch up partners too, all right? So find a new partner. Ready, break. So let's say Vince is, actually, let's switch. So let's say Vince, I'm bigger than Vince, right? Vince is right here in side control 2. So he goes, and now he's on side control 2. He switches, and now he's right there, right? I'm bigger than Vince, right? I'm gonna try and get up, try to lift him up like this. What Allison asked, and what's a really good point, is can I put pressure on his neck as I'm right here? Just like when we're standing up, it creates that pressure, I'm staying down. So if I'm trying to get up, and Vince keeps my neck down, I can't try and get up. Now, I'm trying to use my legs and stuff like that, but he's
he's not letting me get up with my legs, or I'm sorry, with my head anymore, or my upper body. Because if I'm trying to push up this way, Vince just continue to put pressure right there, and I'm staying down. That's a really good point, Allison. Thank you for bringing that up. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, like I can't, like I'm not faking it. Like I can't get up from right there because, huh? No, I can't get up.
So he's gonna try to get up right now. What I'm also doing, when I'm doing this, right now I'm being nice, I'm actually pushing on the chin to move his head back. If I want to be a jerk, or if I really have to not care what happens to him, I can put my arm on his neck and start crushing his neck, all right? We're gonna be nice, we're gonna push against the chin, okay? What I'm doing here, I'm actually grabbing his shoulder, and I'm pushing my forearm into his chin here, right? So Noah's actually gonna try to get up. We're right here. Good. Actually, it's not all that impressive that I do it. Allison.
Come on, Allison.
Allison's the smallest person here, all right? That's fine. So she's here, she's in side control.
So remember,
She switches to side control too. She's got that good chest-to-chest pressure. Good. She's gonna take this hand here, press, open it up, grab his shoulder, and now press your forearm up against his chin, right on his chin right there. Okay?
press down.
Good. Now keep that chest-to-chest pressure. No, try to get up. Just press.
So I'm not kidding. I actually cannot get up this way.
Right.
Her forearm is on my neck.
And again, she needs to be a jerk about this, right? Like 10%. She pushes down the neck. Get up. Push down the neck.
So right there, now it's crushing my trade.
Right? So again, it's all leverage. She's the smallest person here. Now, yes, we're being nice about it a little bit, but Noah was trying to sit up, right? And if you want proof of that, we can come around and show you, right? And your good partner's gonna do it. Where the head goes, the body follows. If you want him to go down, push his head down. Now, if that's kind of a struggle, you can always, all right? Filipinos, we fight dirty, super dirty, right? So if he tries to get up, I can't get the forearm, right? No. Just push it down. If you really gotta be dirty, his eyes are right there. Put a thumb there. If I want to be kind of mean, right? If you're messing with your cousins, push up on the nose, right? And actually don't do that today. We don't want any nosebleeds on these team mats, okay? Right? Chin there, right? You can push down here. You can even grab the hair and hold them down, right? Those are all leverage. So,
This hand?
so even if he can't hit me, he's not able to produce a lot of power, right? So when we learned yesterday to produce power, we needed that hip, right? And when we were doing the hip punching, even without, if all we got in the arm, there wasn't a lot of pressure. With the hip, that's when you start getting pressure. But again, when he's down here, he's gonna be more focused on getting up. And even if he can't hit me, so go ahead and stimulate that, you just start smacking my shoulder, right? Smack your shoulder. It's like smacking, smacking, smacking. Go ahead, keep going. Right?
So he's just putting more pressure
Yeah.
on the neck. Now that raises a good question, Dean, about if you're using your right arm, go ahead and use in side control. In jiu-jitsu, this is actually a way to get up from that side control position. Side control is a really hard position. I struggle getting up from it. Now with this right one, if you guys do ever find yourself in this type of position, like I said, and always remember this, if you guys just take this away, then that's perfect. It's create that frame. Just as he's putting his arm on my neck, I could do the same thing from this position too. And I'm putting my pressure off as well. So that, yeah, I can't punch him, but I can at least put that pressure off if I ever find myself in this bottom position. Yeah.
Anything you could,
Yeah, even if, go ahead, you can actually put pressure. I'm putting pressure off right here because I'm taking off that pressure right here as well.
anything I can do from the top, he can do from the bottom, right? And 90% of what we're doing up on our feet, we're doing on the ground too. Like this principle applied to half the techniques we just covered, right? Again, techniques feed principle. Once you understand the principle, you understand the 1,000 techniques, right? Everything we did standing up, we're starting to do down here, right? And likewise, if he has a jiu-jitsu tends to take our disadvantages and make them our advantages, right? Everyone thinks if you're on the ground, oh no, this is so terrible. But guess what? Now I have the ground to my advantage. I can push off the ground, right? Which is, how many of us struggle with push-ups, right? Because you're pushing all of you up, right? Here, I'm not pushing all of me up. He's trying to keep me down. Okay, there's no trying to keep me down, right? Again, leverage, control. I'm using leverage. I don't have to push myself up. I just need to push his head. And guess what? He can't go down. He can only go up from here, right? That works for me, right there. And again, when we're pushing against the neck, the nose, the soft areas, these are areas that you can't physically strengthen and build pain resistance to, right? So they biologically they're gonna move unless they're like messed up on something. They're gonna react to it, right? And if you can't use pain, you still have leverage. So yeah.
I don't want to confuse you guys too much. Let's continue on to the technique. Is there any questions for what we just showed you guys? All right, let's continue. Ready, break. Side control techniques. We're gonna do one more and then we're gonna break for devotion. So Shepherd is the attacker. Let's say I get on the ground this time, right? Or I'm just laying in bed, somebody tries to attack me in bed, I'm laying down, or I get knocked down, and now Shepherd's trying to attack me. What I do not want to do is most people when they're on the ground, they want to get on top of you and start pummeling you. What I mean by that is just punching you. So if Shepherd gets on mount, this is where I do not want to end up. So I want to end up, Shepherd get off, he's advancing towards me, I'm on my ground and I'm like this, I want him in my close guard. So Shepherd's going, he's going, I close him right here. And I control him right here. This is what we call the closed guard. Closed guard is your legs are going to be on his ribs, and you're going to interlock your legs just like this. Or you're going to interlock your feet just like this. So right here, I can squeeze on his ribs. Your legs are always going to be stronger than your hand or than your arms. If he's trying to choke me from this position or something, he's going like this. If I push him back, actually trying to choke me, if I push him back just with my legs, I'm taking that pressure off right here. Go ahead and try and keep choking me. I'm just keeping that pressure up. So what I mean by that is that if I'm right here and he's just, all I gotta do is walk that back and you'll see your hips automatically start to push up because you're taking off, you're relieving that pressure from you. Even if he's trying to pummel me or punch me, he's trying to punch me right here, I keep that guard up and I'm just keeping that distance right here. So now he's at a distance. That's what we want. We want to keep him right here. I'm gonna teach you guys something called the scissor sweep. The first thing that we're going to do for this scissor sweep is we're going to open our guard. So right here, he's going. I open my guard right here, and I hip escape. So here, get off. With hip escape, you're going to either side of your hips. We're going to practice this before we actually do the scissor sweep. We're going to hip up, and we're going to go on either shoulder and either hip. So when I hip escape, I'm going to push. I'm going this way, like this, and I'm going to end up on my hip, or I'm going the other way. And I'm hipping up, and I'm swooping this way, or I'm hipping this way. So again, bridge up, and hip down, just like that. So let's all practice that for a little bit.
Real quick, some pointers. So if you're struggling with this, what Noah's doing, something that he's doing here when he's doing his hip escape, right? To get your hips up, dig your heels into the ground. So dig your heels into the ground in order to get your hips up, right? Don't just try to move your hips. If your hips are on the ground, you're gonna struggle. You can't just do that, right? Yeah, there's friction right here. Right? If you want something to move smoothly, you remove friction. So get your hips up, no friction. Right? If I want to go left, I'm gonna push off my right foot to scoop my butt out to the left. If I want to go right, I'm gonna scoop out to the right. Which way should I go? Where is my opponent not? So if Noah's on top of me, right? Whichever side he decides to, right? So, or like let's say I'm stuck against the wall right here, right? I'm closed guard, I push here, and then even here, if I can't get my heels off the ground, I can still push and get my hips up. And get my hips up and push my hips out. I'm gonna dig in wherever I can. If it was my heels, with my guard, or just with my calves right here off his hips. And I'm gonna push here, right? If I try to move right here, I'm dragging. I want to get rid of the dragging push.
You want to lift your butt up and then put your butt wherever you want your butt at. So lift up, put that butt. If I want to go this way, put my butt over here. Put it, and I'm just putting it down this way. If you keep on going like this, you're creating more friction. This is a little slippery. If you're on carpet like that or on asphalt or concrete, you're creating that friction. You're basically messing up your skate. So you want to lift up and bridge and then hip down. So we're gonna practice it for a little bit, and then we're gonna get to the technique. Okay? Ready? Break.
Bring your heels closer to your butt. All right. So if you're lifting something, the heavier it is, the closer you get to lift it. Right? If I'm trying to lift, no. Right? I don't lift. basic physics tells me if I try to lift him from over here, I'm not getting anywhere. So what do you do when you need to lift something? Get in close. Oh, I actually did that, right? Same principle right here. It's hard to lift, if my feet are all the way out, that's as much as I got. Bring your heels to your butt. Oh, hey, freedom. And then I push, right? And you're not trying to like corkscrew your hips, right? You're gonna push and let your butt go that way. Same principle as when we were here with the grabs. When you push your butt. This is also called shrimping, because when you push, you look like a cooked shrimp, right? So turn yourself into that shrimp. It's like, okay, I'm swimming and swimming, I got fried. Cool. I swim, got fried. So struggling with it, again, bring your heels as close as you can, dig them in, get those hips high, and then send them to either side. Ready, break.
And then we're gonna break for the devotion. Shepherd. So I'm gonna show you guys how they would get in your closed guard.
Let's say I'm laying down, boom, boom, and Shepard's advancing me. Let's say even from the side or anything like that. I'm gonna catch him with my leg, and he's gonna keep going forward, and I'm just gonna go in. So if he's back right here, and I'm laying down or whatever, and I kick that feet up, if he's going, I just go right here, and I'm right here, and he comes in, and I just close him as fast and as quick as I can. So if he's right here, he's in my closed guard. Now I can control him. We're come this way a little bit. So when that hip escape comes into play, is when I'm right here and I'm ready to get him out of my guard. I open that guard just like I said, and I'm gonna hip escape. Either this way or this way, whichever side is available. Boom, I hip escape. Now I created that space, and now look how my legs ended up. It's ended up like a scissor, right? One leg is gonna be at the bottom, and the other leg is gonna be up top. One thing that I want you guys to remember is do not keep it right here. If he advances towards me and he pushes my knee down, now he's just advanced towards me. If I keep it up here, I'm creating that frame once again. Now he tries to keep going. I'm creating that frame right here, and I'm pushing off right here. When I go for that scissor sweep, I want to use his momentum against him. He's coming forward, and I can pull him, and my legs are going to act as a scissor just like that. So he's going forward, go ahead. I scissor him just like that. So let's go again. Again, closed guard. I open it. I hip escape. And I put one leg back down. And I put the other one up on top of his chest. You do not want it down because, go ahead, advance forward. I try and scissor him. I can't. Because most of his weight is now down here and I can't. If I keep it up here now, go ahead, advance. Now I'm right here. And when I pull him, it's like I'm basically lifting him up right there. I pull, and I just swing right there. And now, you're gonna end up on our next technique, which is mount. But let's focus on that scissor sweep first. Any questions?
Real quick. So when we're getting to close guard here, for a lot of people this would be an uncomfortable position, right? It's a very vulnerable position if you don't know how to use it, right? And I don't feel like I need to go into details why we don't want people between our legs, right? But here's the thing, if Shepard's on the outside of my legs, he's gonna have more control over, right? So if I'm just down here and he's able to keep my legs down, right? He's got control. Now, because physics, biology, how the body's built, right? There's people who can take a watermelon and crush it between their legs, all right? If I understand that and I accept, okay, for me to have that power, I had to be vulnerable in this way. I have to let him into my space here so I can accept that he's now in a position where I'm more powerful. Then you're able to use technique. But that's why you got to train as well. There's no making discomfort easy, right? This first day, some of you are going to be having someone in close guard, and it's like, I'm like, it's weird. No, it's like 100 days into putting people in close guard. It's like, okay, why aren't they there? Right? That's why I'm encouraging you guys, today's day one, not just one day, right? So, and likewise, if you're wondering, okay, how do I get him here? It's like catching a ball, right? How do you catch a football? Right? Not like this. You gotta open up and close around it, right? So same principle. I got knocked into the ground, Shepard's coming in, I gotta open up, and then I gotta close around it. But I did wrestling back in high school. We had this is called a body scissor for us. We would do this just to make people suffer. Because I'm going to take my knees and squish him into his ribs. Right? That head, like that's pain for him right here. We would actually do it over here. Right? Right? And now he's suffering. It's like chest to chest pressure. Right? Again. But when I'm here, when I'm in close guard, I'm in control here. Because I have my strongest muscles in play. If Shepard doesn't know what he's doing, I can throw him around all day. Right? So, yes, it's weird outside of jiu-jitsu. It's uncomfortable, right? The vulnerable position, but you accept the vulnerability to accept the strength as well. He comes into my guard, down here, then I can push him around, then I can hip escape, and then I can scissor still, right? So, be patient with your partners. If you find it a little bit weird, help them out, catch them, close in around them, and then get to work.
Yeah, so partner A, Shepard, is going to advance. He's going to just take a couple steps towards me. Partner B, you're going to be on your back. This is the starting position. And he's going to go in, lock, keep it right here, open, hip escape, go right here, create that frame, have your partner put pressure on so you can feel that difference right here. And when he's ready, make sure to grab at least one or two arms and pull him in. And as you're pulling him in, sweep. All right? Any questions? All right, ready, break.
Alright, let's go ahead and pray real quick, guys, and then we'll get into the devotion that we have for you guys to start today, okay? Let's pray. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for the time that we've had so far. With this primer with the jiu-jitsu portion. Thank you that we're all safe and that we're having fun. Continue to inform us and teach us as we want, Lord. And pray now in this time that we focus on you, we learn more about you. We learn about the relationship we are to have with you and where we're currently at right now, Lord. So I thank you for this time. You be glorified in it. In your name, joyfully. I think we pray. Amen. All right, guys. So, little random trivia for you guys. You know that there's actually grappling, jiu-jitsu in the Bible? Because that's actually the account we're going to read today, all right? We're going to be in Genesis chapter 32, and the subtext of this passage is Jacob wrestles God, right? So, and wrestling is a form of jiu-jitsu. It's more the Western phrasing for it, so it's grappling either way. And the reason why I was bringing up this, like, hey, there's jiu-jitsu, there's wrestling in the Bible. I actually heard this first time I heard this, I was on a wrestling team, my high school wrestling team. The reason why I bring it up is because a lot of what we do with wrestling and jiu-jitsu, with any grappling, the core concept is control, right? We're learning to control someone else who's trying to either not be under control or who's trying to control us. And that's the appeal of jiu-jitsu, is the ability to take control, right? That's why if you don't do jiu-jitsu, having someone in your guard is uncomfortable because you feel like it's a lack of control. But when you learn, then you realize, oh, this is where I can have the greatest control over someone. All right? And then you're cool with it. And that's the issue that comes up when we see Jacob wrestling God. Now, Jacob, he had a brother named Esau. And when they're twin brother, actually. And when Jacob and Esau were being born, right? Whoever came out of the womb first was the firstborn, and they had all the rights. And even as a baby, Jacob was pretty selfish, you know. Your sibling wants to go first on something, and you say, I want to go first, and you knock them out of the way. Everyone I work with kids, they always want to be on the front of the line. I don't know why, but it's like we're greedy and we feel like it's the most important spot. So Jacob cuts in line, right? And even though it's recognized, okay, Jacob's here trying to cut in line, so that way he can get first spot, firstborn position in the family. Like they recognize, like, oh, he's trying to get firstborn. He's trying to be in that top dog position. Later on in life, his mom actually Jacob's mom helps him to cheat Esau out of his birthright, meaning like what the oldest son should get, right? Jacob tricks him into giving it up so he gets it. And Esau catches on to the gig and it's like, what? You stole from me. How could you? And Esau's just so mad he wants to kill Jacob. So Jacob does what any rational person would do and runs, lives his life for a while, and then feels called back to go and reconcile with Esau. And at this point, Jacob's married. He's actually got multiple wives, multiple kids. And the day before he's supposed to go see Esau, he starts sending caravans of his wealth, of his gold, of his food, of what he has. He sends the wives he doesn't like as much over to Esau as a peace envoy, as a peace offering. It's like, hey, Esau, I'm on my way. Don't kill me. Here. Esau, I'm on my way. Please don't kill me. Here. Why? Because he's trying to control the situation, right? In life, there's people who try to control situations, not physically by grabbing you, but by manipulating you emotionally, logically, with money, right? And that's what Jacob's trying to take control of now. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you stuff so I can kind of control how you react to me, Esau. Because I don't want you controlling me. I don't want you having this power over me. So I'm going to use what power I have to try to control the situation. And finally, he says everything he can to Jacob or to Esau. And Jacob's there, scared to go across the river and talk to Esau. And he's waiting one more night before he goes. And that night, he's sitting by the fireplace. And then he sees a man come before him, and they get into a grappling match. They start to wrestle. And it turns out, we find out this person is God. So we'll read this account. This is in Genesis chapter 32 to 22. So, Jacob wrestles God. Verse 22. The same night he arose and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jacob. He took them and sent them across the stream and everything else that he had. And Jacob was left alone. And a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. And when the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he touched his hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. Then he said, "Let me go, for the day has broken." Jacob said, "I will not let you go until you bless me." And he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then he said, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel. For you have striven with God and with men and have prevailed." And Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the name of the place, "Now, for I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered." Rose sun upon him, and he passed below, limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the people of Israel did not eat the sinew of the thigh that is on the hip socket, because he touched the hip or socket of Jacob's hip on the sinew of the thigh. Right? A lot of stuff happening. So let me explain what's going on. My guess is Jacob's sitting there. He's waiting to go, and God kind of comes up and grabs him and starts wrestling with him. Right? Kind of like how older brothers. I think Noah's around here. I'm pretty sure you can ask the siblings, and Noah would just start grappling with the siblings. Willingly or not, you're in a wrestling match. I have a feeling that's how it happened. Because God came in and started wrestling with Jacob. And then Jacob wrestled with this man, who turns out to be God, right? Till dawn. We're talking like 8 hours of wrestling here. I don't know what Jacob was eating, all right? Or if God was giving him power to roll. But he was wrestling and grappling for 8-9 hours through the night. And it was only until the dawn started coming up that the match ended, right? We're only 2 hours into the seminar. We've only actually been rolling for like an hour and a half, and half of this over here, like, right? They went for 8 hours. And neither of them are tired, neither of them are giving up. And then after wrestling, the man, God, decides, okay, I'm done here. And he touches Jacob's hip and pops it out of socket. Now, just to give you perspective, right? This femur bone here is extremely hard to break. And when it does break, people freak out, right? That's how strong the legs are. This is why when your parents tell you when you listen to something, listen with your legs, not with your back. These are your largest muscle groups here. The tendon that they're talking about is called the IT band, kind of like where my little stripe is here. This is a really important tendon in your body, right? As you get older, this part of your body starts to hurt a lot. It's called the sciatica, right? And this is where a lot of bending happens. It's extremely difficult for this to get damaged. And the wording here, if AJ, if I can for a second, the wording here is for 8 hours where she was grappling. And then, oh, sorry. You okay? Sorry. Sorry, Filipino, if I dirty. And the guy goes, okay. And it's just gone. And Jacob's just here grabbing the guy's ankles, like, no, don't go, right? Like, that's all he can do, because this is shot, right? Now, what that communicates is, this guy's, we're going for 8 hours, right? From the beginning, he could have just done that. Like, I'm gonna wear you out and make you think you're doing well. But I could beat you at any point I want. That's what that verse is communicating. God's wrestling with Jacob. You're wrestling against God. Alright? It's like, he can beat you whenever he wants. But God allowed Jacob to wrestle with him all this time because the wrestling match is about control. Who can dominate the situation? And God showed him, I could have dominated at any time. The issue with Jacob is he's trying so hard to have control. And his issue is he's not giving control to God. So God has to come in and show Jacob, I'm in control. I'll let you feel control for a little bit, and I'll let you realize how much control you don't have. God does not have to wrestle with someone, all right, to control. He can just say, kneel. People always ask, like, why doesn't God, just stop all the evil in the world? God could. He could fearfully just make us all give in to his will. But he allows us to wrestle with him so that he can bring us to a point where he shows us how in control he is of every circumstance, right? Jacob's trying to appease Esau with all his gifts. Right after this, Jacob sees Esau. Esau's like, hey man, I want to forgive you. I do forgive you. Why'd you give me all this stuff? Take it back. Like nothing that Jacob sent to Esau convinced Esau to forgive him. Esau had everything he needed. He built up his wealth again afterwards. Esau forgave because God moved Esau to forgive Jacob. And now Jacob feels like, I didn't do anything to make you forgive me. God moved in Esau's heart. God was in control and bringing this situation to reconciliation. But Jacob wasn't at a point where he was ready to give in. So he's wrestling. He realizes who he's talking to. God takes him down. It's like, I gotta go, man. I got other godly business to handle, not just you. And he's like, and he's holding on. It's like, I'm not letting go till you bless me. Now, when it says prevail here, Jacob didn't win against God. The prevailing was in finally having faith. It's like, oh, it's not that I need to control God. It's I need to hold on to him and hold on to the promises he gives and hold on to his character and who he is. Right? Jacob let go of everything else and he realized what he needed to hold on to was God, but not to fight him, but to bow down to him and recognize his power. And so many of us, we're still stuck in the night wrestling against God. And sometimes we get to the point where God's got to break our head to make us realize how much in control we're not in situations. Right? God will sometimes put us through things to make us struggle and make us weak and put us in situations where we're out of control so that we can finally turn to God and go, like, God, I need help. I don't have control of the situation. It's like, you never did. I do. So trust me to have control of this situation. Trust me to do what will be done. Right? This reconciliation is about to happen between you and Esau. Right? I got it under control. You're not sending anything to Esau that's going to give you reconciliation. I move in Esau's heart to have him forgive you. I go to you and I make you give up control so you see that I have control of the situation. I have you pinned from the start, Jacob. But I need you to be faithful. I need you to persevere and prevail in holding on to me. Hold on to me and my character, what I do. That's why at the end, right? Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel. For you have striven with God and with men and have prevailed. Jacob means deceiver, right? It also means heel grabber. That's how he is born. Like, the meaning of his name is you grabbed the heel and tried to take something that wasn't yours. You tried to take the birthright that wasn't yours. You deceived your way into having what was not yours. Jacob, you're no longer going to live as one who deceives. But Israel means strive with God. Like, even though I have difficulty understanding, I will trust you, God. Like sometimes you ask your parents, say, we're going to do this, and you're asking why. And ultimately, you just got to trust that your parents have your best interests at heart. God has your best interests at heart. He just was Jacob, he had to break him to get him to that point. It's like, God, I'll take control. I don't have control. And God says, you're right, you don't. I do. Remember that. God showed so much control over Jacob that he changed his name to Israel. To name someone in Scripture is to show authority, show control over them. None of you named yourselves. Your parents did because they have authority and control over you. So God's showing this control. Hey, I got this, I got it under control. I have you under control, and that's a good thing. Trust me. Hold to me. Even if it's wrestling with me because you don't understand, you hold to me and you trust me, and I will take care of it. Now the question is, how do we do this? And I'm just going to leave you with what it says in Romans 12:1. So in this, Paul goes through 11 chapters of explaining proper theology to the Romans, so they have proper understanding of who God is. And now we get to chapter 12, and he starts telling us how do we live out everything we learned about Jesus. He says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good, acceptable, and perfect. The idea of an offering, right? Oftentimes, the living sacrifice here is like the sacrifice was like a bull or a ram, and you killed it and you placed the entire thing on the offering, and it was burnt up to a crisp, and it was fully committed to being burned for the glory of God. The living sacrifice that Paul is telling you that God wants of us is, even though I'm still alive, God, I'm going to be right here on this altar, and wherever you want me to go, I go. You want me to die, I die. However you want me to live, I live. But I'm right here, God. Our problem is we tend to be like, okay, I'm here, God. Ooh, shiny. I'm right here, God. Ooh, I don't like that, God. No, to give your life, to give God control, it's like, that's shiny, but God wants me here. I don't like that, but God wants me here. That looks interesting, God wants me here. God's in control. What he has said, I do. I'm right here. I hold fast to what God calls me to do. Right here. I'm willing to give all of me actively what God wants me to do. And that means giving our lives to Jesus. Recognizing that the control he's taken for us is in sacrificing himself for our sin. It's in rising from the grave. We have no control over life and death. Jesus showed perfect control over life and death. We have no control over whether or not we can get into heaven or hell. Jesus gave us that control in giving us himself. And if we give ourselves to Jesus, then we have that control. Not that we have any control, but we've given control to God. Right? Jesus take the wheel? Man, we never had it in the first place. We don't even have the license to drive the car. Jesus takes control and gets us where God wants us to go. And as we live our lives, right here, we learn how to control so people can't control us. And once we have that control, it means we can fully give that control to God because no one else has it over us. So I encourage you guys, the control that you should have over your lives is giving that control over to God. I'm not wrestling with God because I'm trying to win against him. I'm wrestling with him so I can get in line with his will. I'm not wrestling with God so I can get where I want to go. I'm wrestling against my own sinful flesh to be where God wants me to be. So, as we continue to learn, guys, let's wrestle with God and recognize his control over our lives and recognize that it's different. Alright? I'm going to pray for us and we'll get going again. Let's pray. Lord, I thank you for today. Thank you for the time we have left with our Combatives primer. I continue, Lord, to show us that you're in control and to yield that control to you for your glory. In your name we joyfully and thankfully pray. Amen. Right?
So, like I said, we have, if he's behind me, gradually right here, chicken wing out, fillet out like this, boom, push away, If it's underneath, right here, drop your weight, go down, check which one is overhand over, and clench his fingers like this and hip out again, twist and push, or just run away. If he's in front, right here, same thing as the back, chicken wing out and push back. He's right here, this is where we're gonna get to the ground techniques. So if he's right here and he's pushing on me, drop my weight, frame on his neck, swim under, and you guys can sweep him right here, hip to hip, sweep down right here. So now, when we're in this position, we have the 2 side controls that I taught you. The first one, the chest to chest, one right here, the other one underneath his neck, and putting that chest to chest pressure right here. Second one is opening this back up, continuing that chest to chest pressure, and looping it right underneath, and flipping right here. And now we're moving on back to the close guard, where if I'm right here, I'm laying down, and Shepherd goes and advances. I catch him, I close my guard, and we're right here. The scissor sweep, we open the guard, when we hip escape on either side, we put one down right here, put another one on the chest. If he advances close to me, I'm keeping that frame right here. He can't advance. Now when I'm ready to scissor sweep him, I pull him in and I sweep him right here. Now a lot of you lighter people, if he is bigger and I'm right here and I try to scissor sweep right, I'm right here and I'm not going, I can't go. This is where the second scissor sweep is in play. It does the same motion if he's going right here, except for if he has a stronger base and I'm pulling and it's not working, I'm gonna put my foot on his knee right here. Now it's gonna call for more space, but what happens is I'm gonna do that same motion, except I'm driving that knee back. So when he advances, I push, and I push his knee out, so I'm able to complete that sweep. All right, so that's gonna be the next technique that we're gonna learn. I'm gonna show it one more time, just so we all know it. Boom right here. Hold guard, hip escape. This one doesn't work, where you pull and it's not working. Switch to putting it on his knee right here. You might need to open more and pull him more. And when you pull, push this out right here, kick him out. Any questions? All right, grab a partner. Let's get started. Ready, break. Now we're gonna move on to the next. This is gonna be a choke from the closed guard. So now we learned the sweep. Now we're gonna learn the leg triangle. Shepherd, you're gonna be my partner. He's in your guard again. Turn the side a little bit. So we're right here, right? And let's say Shepherd's pummeling me or something. I hit back and I grab his wrist. If he's choking me, let's say he's choking right here, hit back, get that pressure off me, and I go right here. The next thing we're gonna do, open our guard, shimmy out a little bit. If you have enough space already, right here. So both your feet are gonna be on the pelvic area, and you guys can feel his hips. You can see him moving a little bit, you see that? So now, the next step from here is you're gonna isolate one arm. It can either be this one or this one, does not matter. But whichever one you isolate, you're gonna swing this leg over. So boom, pretend I isolate this one, I'm pushing this one back, and at that same time, I'm pulling him in, and I'm hooking my leg like this. So now I'm right here. The next step is, now that I'm at this position, ensure that this arm is at this type of angle. Now this leg is gonna go up and it's gonna go over. And this little crevice behind your knee is where you want this foot to end up. So I'm right here and I'm right here. So without even putting pressure and I just flex my legs, it chokes him out. You can see his face getting wrecked. Let's say that does not work and he's still fighting, it's not working. I let go of this arm and I grab his head and I just pull it forward like that. Now Noah, what if I'm not as flexible and I'm like right here? That's also fine. Don't give up on it. You can still squeeze them from right here, but don't usually expect it to work where you can choke them out just like this. If you squeeze like this, it still works, but ensure that you pull his head closer so you can choke out right there. The reason what I'm trying to say is that on each side of your neck is the carotid artery. What you're trying to do is you're trying to cut off that circulation to your brain, and that's what causes them to pass out. or eventually die if you keep the position. So what you're doing is you're trapping his arm, do this side, you're trapping his arm to his carotid artery, and on the other side, you're putting your leg on the other carotid artery. So you're completely cutting off that circulation to the head. So I'll show it one more time, and then we're gonna get to the reps.
So boom, close guard. He's choking me out, or whatever it is. You want to grab, keep it down, pummel down, open the guard, put it right, shimmy, put it on the hips, feel his hips out, push one hand down, and this on top. So now you're right here. Now you're hooking his carotid artery right here. Put this one on this side, and now with this leg, put it over and press down right here. Now, if that does not work, or to finish it, even if this technically works, still it's good practice to let go and grab his head and push it towards you. All right? Any questions?
Real quick, 60. Go ahead, come back in triangle.
Okay.
Right. So, with Noah describing, right, when he gets his gear, hold here. Notice the moment Shepard feels any pressure, he taps, right? Squeeze a little, tap. Here's what, the tap is absolute, you feel it, let go. Also, there are no tough guys when it comes to chokes, right? Shepard could probably talk this whole time he's getting squeezed, right? Air is still circulating. What's going on is the carotids are being closed off and then you're losing circulation to the brain. You'll be talking and pass out, right? There are no tough guys with this choke. So please don't try to tough it out. It's like, oh, you can't choke me out, you can't choke me. All right? Because we don't want anyone choking out today, all right? That's why it's effective, so make sure, again, tap when you feel any pressure. Once you feel the pressure, he's doing it right, right? And likewise, once you feel the tap, let go. You did everything right, okay? Go slow, be safe, have fun, try not to fart.
Is there any questions? You guys want me to do it one more time? We're doing the whole thing. We're doing the whole thing. So here, I'll back up a little bit, Shep, come back. So here again,
Close the guard right here. I grab his hands. I open my guard, shimmy a little bit, put your feet on their hips like this. You're gonna look like have you guys butterfly stretch? You're gonna look like that right here. So you're right here, you're feeling his hips. You're gonna push either arm down, whichever arm you want. I like the right side because I'm right side dominant. So I push the right side down and I swing my right leg right here as I'm pulling him in. From this position, he's already kind of feeling it. I'm gonna let go of this hip right here, and I'm gonna swing this foot, or I'm sorry, this leg over this one, and I'm right here. When I squeeze, he taps. If that does not work, and just in good practice, I'm going to grab his head as I'm squeezing, and even light pressure will make him tap. Any questions? All right, pair up, ready, go.
a lot of times, if I get the eyes over here, I showed you guys a lot of times where you can get on mount. Now we're gonna focus on the mount techniques. So Shepard, right, stand up. If he grabbed me, like I said, there's two ways that I showed you guys that you can already get on mount. If he grabs me again, like that, I frame up, I do that same sweep, and he's down on the ground. From this way, I can get on mount. This is the mount position. When the mount position, if you put all your weight down like that, Shep, try and get up, it's extremely difficult for him to get it. As long as you keep that pressure on. The other time that I showed you guys that you guys may be able to get on mount is during that scissor sweep. So Shepard, for example, is in my closed guard. This way.
And I get him in that scissor sweep, boom, right there, and I get him right here. My feet are already right here, and I slide onto that scissor, or I slide onto that mount. This is the mount position, and this is the most dominant position that you can get in a street fight or anything like that, because you're on top, and you can go and do whatever. And this, you keep your weight on. If you slide up a little bit, it even makes it more difficult. Don't Shep try and get up. It even makes it more difficult for him to get on. All right? So, during this mount, I'm going to show you guys two techniques during mount. I'm going to show you guys the arm bar and the arm triangle. With the arm triangle, Shep, you want to get up here? The arm triangle is one of my favorite shows. When I get on mount and I'm right here, what they're going to want to do, see like a little bit more,
what they're gonna do is they're gonna try and get out. They're gonna either go side to side, or they're gonna try and get out. So go ahead, go to the side. When he goes to the side, with this triangle, just like the leg triangle that we just did, I need an arm and his head. When I'm right here, this is gonna act as my first leg during the leg triangle. I'm gonna hook it right here, and now my neck and my shoulder is gonna drive into his arm and onto his other carotid. So like I said, there's two carotid arteries, right? One on each side. This form is getting that one. This one is getting choked out by these two right here. You're gonna want your bicep in, and you're gonna go like that. That's the first one. Go ahead, turn around. So you're gonna want it right here. So when going right here, if you can tell by Shepherd, it's already feeling it because I'm putting off both his carotid. Now if that doesn't work, I'm gonna show you guys two grips that you guys can do to try and complete this move. First one is the gable grip. With the gable grip, if you're right here and you're pushing, you're gonna grab your hands like this, and your pinky and this thumb is gonna go together like this. I want you guys all to do it with me. Palm to palm. So palm to palm, and then this pinky is gonna go like this, right here. You're right here, grab right here, and that's the gable grip. So right here, just like this, it's like an X, and grab. Perfect. So when he's right here, and I get him in that gable grip, I'm gonna work my forearm and I'm gonna flex my bicep. So right here, if I just do this, it makes him tap. What I'm doing with this forearm is I'm going like this. We have two bones in our forearm. It's the radial and the ulnar. What I'm doing with the radial is I'm twisting my thumb so it extends my radial and it's pushing on his carotid artery even more. So I'm in this position and I go right here, I'm doing this and I'm working it. So if I'm right here, it's not choking him, I push down and I go right there. This is a squeeze and I'm digging my neck into it. To complete this choke, if this doesn't already work and he's already out, I'm going to get off mount just like this and I'm gonna lay down. When I'm right here, I'm gonna continue, as I'm putting on that pressure, I'm gonna continue to keep going this way. So I end up like this. And when I'm right here, it's an easy choke, just like that. All right, I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm on mount. Shepherd tries to escape. I capture him right here. I slide that in right here, and I put that neck and that shoulder onto that arm right here. When I'm right here, I gable grip it, and I squeeze. If that does not work, your partner does not tap, you get off of mount, and you put that like chest to chest pressure, but this time it's on his neck. And you're putting that pressure just like this. When you're right here, you keep on rotating and squeezing until he taps right there. All right? Is there any questions with this? I know this one's a little more complex. Is there any questions? All right, grab a partner and let's start. Ready, break. Back up. Shepherd, you're gonna be my dummy again. Sorry. I'm gonna get back on mount on Shepherd. All right. So we're right here, right? Again, we're gonna do the same choke. We're gonna practice just for a little bit, all right? So he does that same thing, tries to get up. I trap him, I get that, and I drive my neck into his arm. When I'm right here and that gable grip does not work, another strong that I like to do is if I'm right here and I keep that arm open, I can slide my bicep under and I grab my own bicep. In grabbing my own bicep, I lift myself up and I curl back down. You're gonna look like a little snake like this at the end. So when you're right here and you curl up, you flex both your biceps and you squeeze. When you're right here, you're putting both pressure on and you're making like a kind of 2-to-1 mechanical advantage with both your biceps. So when you're right here, you squeeze and it makes it even worse. So if he's going right here, I'll go to the camera. Yep, you're right. There we go. And he's right here, and that gable grip is not working as much as you want to squeeze. You slide your bicep and you grab your bicep while keeping that pressure. And watch. If I just go like this, and I'm just going like this, and it's not choking it. But when I squeeze my bicep, right there. All right. So all you want to do is from right here, slide, grab your own bicep on top of your bicep, make a little snake. Think of it like a snake. You can even grab his forehead right here. It's open. and squeeze right there. All right? Any questions? All right, let's do it for a couple minutes, all right? Ready, break. Move on to the next technique. That was just another variable of the arm triangle. So now I'm gonna stay on mount with Shepherd. Shepherd going mount. Then now we're gonna do the arm bar, okay? So now from right here, so now right here, I'm on mount again, and Shepherd's pushing me off of him. So he's right here, right? Let's say I'm on top and I'm trying, he's pushing me off. When I'm right here, I'm gonna twist my legs where I can get a better advantage where he pushes me, go ahead, and I flip this way. So I wanna rock back that way for my arm bar. If I wanna go that way, he pushes me, I switch this way. So what it looks like without Shepherd here is I'm right here, he pushes me, and I just twist right here. Pushes me, I just twist right here. If you guys wanna try it real quick, I'm right here. He pushes up, all right, twist. Good, on either side, it does not matter. Again, back, try the other side, twist. Good. So now, how this is gonna play a part is when he pushes me, this way. When he pushes me, I twist, go ahead. Boom, I twist this way. The next step is I'm gonna put my arms like this. The reason I put it like this, so I can isolate either arm. But I'm gonna isolate this one. So I push and I twist this way. I wanna make sure that this foot is close, and I'm gonna grab this arm right here. When I grab this arm, this is where I'm gonna swing this left leg over his head, and I'm gonna pull on his arm. All right? So of course you guys have to be careful. I'm right here, and I'm gonna swing this way, and when I'm right here, I keep a hold of this arm. If I do it, and I let go of this arm, Trevor pulls it away, and I don't get the arm bar. Now I'm just stuck here laying like this. But if I keep this arm, and I grab this way, now I'm right here. When you don't want to cross your legs, keep it open, and keep right here. And I'm gonna show you guys the anatomy of the arm. You have the radial and the ulnar, right? The elbow bends this way. The elbow does not bend this way, or should not. What we're gonna do, when in self-defense, is that we're gonna want to try to bend this elbow the other way. But Shepard, give me a thumbs up. A quick little secret to ensure that you always have the armbar correct is his thumb is up. When his thumb is up, that means that I'm bending it the other way, right? Boom, and I'm bending it this way. Now for men and for women too, you don't want to put the elbow on your groin area. You want to put it on either side of your hamstrings, like this. Just ensure that when you're pulling away from the thumbs up. You're going this way. Because if you put it on your groin, I guarantee, especially for men, your groin will go out before you try and pump more. So you want to keep it right here. And when you do it, you want to pull up, and you're not just pulling up, you're putting your hips up as well. So it's going to look like this, like that, until it pops. So Shepherd, boom, we're right here. I go right here. I'm going to hip up, and I go right here. All right, this is a very slow technique. Do not try and pop your partner's arm, all right? So again, I'm going to do it one more time. He pushes me up, I twist, and I put my arms like this on either side of his arm. So I'm right here. When I'm right here, I grab his arm and keep a hold of this arm at all times. When you're right here, swing this left leg over and lay down. And keep it right here. Ensure that wherever you want this arm to be placed, ensure that the elbow's on. So either hamstrings, wherever you want it, and that thumbs up again, and just bridge up and pull. All right? So
Quick, Stacy, just so you guys do this slow, all right? We're gonna add a small step. Now, do everything Noah just showed you, right? You're here, he's pushing up on you, right? So I go up here, I do this, and when I isolate the arm, if you're actually doing this where it's like you have to hurt this guy, the real way you do it is you go, BAM! And you basically break fall with his hand in. That's what's gonna snap the arm like that. We are not gonna do that. You're here, you isolate the hands. When you bring this foot around, sit straight down. Take a second, sit straight down, put your legs where they need to be. And even in jiu-jitsu tournaments, like they'll be like, you wanna give up now? Just tap now, right? Actually for kids jiu-jitsu, they'll stop it right here, right? They won't let you get to this point. So, go here, swing the leg around, sit. Sit for a second, and then slowly go back. That thumbs up. Think of it this way. The shepherd has this in an ice pick grip. Hold it nice. Right? Do I want to go like this? Right? It's no good. So either bring it all the way over, right? So if he's trying to poke me here and I'm just like arm barring here, I'll bring it all the way over here. Or I'm gonna extend it all the way over here. Right? A little bit of nice defense right here. But again, don't just lay down right away. Sit. Put it off to your hamstring or on one of the hamstrings and slowly go down. If you're going slow, you give him time to tap. Here, sit, slow. Okay? Just as an FYI, right? This is a quick tip I learned a while back. Go ahead. When you're doing the arm bar, just to anticipate some defense real quick. AJ's a bodybuilder, so he can flex a lot. He can lift a lot, right? How much can you curl?
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. A lot. A lot more than he's willing to admit, okay? So, if he's flexing right here, right? So, here, I'm going to have a hard time, right? If I can't pull this to me, lay down, and then push, all right? Instead of working against the strongest muscles here, you can actually take him where he's weak, and then hyperextend him, okay? Just a quick tip.
Any questions on the armbar? Everybody feel confident about it?
I have a question.
Yes.
When you do arm bar, is it like more better than this way or to the side of the arm?
So like I said with that, if I'm right here, it doesn't either this side or this side, it's more focusing on that thumb. If your thumb is up and you're pulling off completely opposite to that thumb, it does not matter how, because it is everybody's arm is anatomically correct. So, except my grammar, I'm gonna pull this way, and you're not gonna want to pull this way because then you're gonna be able to try and flex it right here. So as long as that thumb is up always, and you pull opposite to the thumb, you are gonna be breaking the arm. Is there any other questions? Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
So, was it palm up or thumb up? Right? Because some people will catch a palm up. This is just so that you understand this is in its proper position, right? Some people, like, I can do it where I'm grabbing the whole wrist. Right? So if I'm getting an arm bar on someone, sometimes, like, I'll be fighting for a hand here. Like, sometimes the defense is they're doing a curl right here, right? So the thumb and palm aren't up either way. I need this elbow to open up. It's like a clamshell, right? You guys know how clams work? They have a little joint in the back. If you take the clamshell can open like this and like this, right? It open, up and down. If you open it too far, right, then you can snap it. That's what you're trying to do to the elbow. Likewise, but if you try to open it, you don't try to twist it, right? If you twist it, it's going to go wonky. Our hands can do this number. They can't go. This is as far as it goes. I can go like this. I can go like that to a certain extent. And I can definitely go like this. But you want your arm bar is you're trying to do that. You're hyperextending. Okay? And this is flexion, this is extension. Hyperextension is you're extending it past the point that it can extend without breaking. Okay? So.
All right. We're gonna move on to the next technique. Vince, if you want to be my partner, this might answer your question a little bit more. If you're on mount,
You go right here, and he's on top, or any person is on top. There's two ways. If Vince is on top, and like I said, if he's trying to choke me or something like that, I want to keep that pressure on his neck first of all. If he's close enough and he's going in like this, and I keep that frame, I'm trying to take off that pressure. But what you want to do is hip escape. Bump escape. So what you do is you isolate whichever side you want to bump off of, which this side is, I'm going to bump him this way. So when I isolate it, go right here, I'm going to bridge up. When I bridge up, you can see that he is basically off of the ground. When I'm right there and I hip up, I'm going to hit and bump and roll that way. So when I'm going, in reality, if you're struggling, go ahead. And I'm going, I'm like, okay, there you go. I'm going to bump it that way. All right. So it's launching him off of that bridge and pushing him either to this side or to this side. So that's what you want to do with your hips. So if he's off of me, it's going to look one, and you're going to either side. If you just hip up this way, he's going to stay on top of you. What you got to do is isolate and hip that way. And it is very important for him to come on top. If he is on top, whichever way you're bumping, isolate that arm. If I don't isolate that arm, and I bump, Vince is going to brace himself. And now I just wasted energy, and I wasted time getting him off of me. But if I keep at least this one isolated, and I bump and escape, he has nothing to brace himself. All right? So that's going to be the first number.
Yeah. So one basic tip: yes, we're doing this off and choke. Don't actually choke your partners, all right? Because if you're not used to this, also you got a bunch of weight here.
You guys don't have to do it off the choke. You guys can just grab the hands as well.
Just put your hands on, if you're the one in mount, just put hands on the shoulders right here. That's the same thing for what we're doing, okay? Likewise, principle that he was talking about with isolation. Every table I've ever seen has a minimum of 3 legs, right? Okay. 4 legs is normal, right? I can be stable right here. If I want someone to stand on my back, I got 4 points of contact on the ground here. I can also do that with 3 points of contact. 2 points, not happening, right? No. If I'm right here and I take both out, I'm gone. Even if it's like, but Vince, we're 2-legged creatures. Yes, but you have your heel and your toes, 4 points of contact, right? This is why this is so difficult to balance. It's only 2 points of contact, and you're actually constantly creating that balance skill when you're doing this, right? Here, I'm just set on normal. Here, I'm set on fine. Take those 2 away, then I'm going. Okay?
All right, you guys. Any questions? All right. Ready, break.
Get all huddle up.
Vince, you wanna come up too? So that was the last technique that I was going to show you guys today. There's a lot more techniques that you guys can learn with self-defense, with jiu-jitsu, with our knees, with just anything in general. There's a lot to learn. Like I said, I want to open this up to a Q&A, to any questions that you guys have, any techniques that you guys want to go over again, or any techniques that you guys want to learn. We're open to techniques. We're open to questions. You guys want to open up to you guys right now.
Do want to throw in there real quick. We're doing Q&A now because there's like 5 to 10 more techniques we could do, but we're being conservative or mindful of the time. Some people have work tomorrow, so we want to make sure that we don't want to wait to rest. But yeah, this is again just day 1, not just one day, but day 1 of it should be many techniques. Again, we do Dojo Ministries here. That's where we got the full T-shirts. But we do Filipino martial arts here, and Filipino martial arts does some jiu-jitsu as well. We'll just do it with a weapon in our hand most of the time. All right, and we'll mainly do it standing up. And then what's the gym again?
Neto Gym.
Neto Gym, right? They're doing strictly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that's what gave Noah his ability to be an amateur MMA fighter and have his first bout about a month ago, two ago, yeah. But that took him about a year of training before he got to that point. And so this is like, if you feel like, man, that was a lot, that was like 0.5% maybe of blue belts. Yeah. So there's a lot to teach you guys, a lot for you to know. We're gonna do a little Q&A right now, so it's like, hey, what about this, what about that? What do you wanna learn about that? We'll show you those techniques real quick. And then again, we have video. In about 2 weeks, we'll have that video to you guys so you can see what we're going over. But let's be the first day you get started and then explore more techniques. If you leave here with more questions, look for the answers. Ask us where those answers are, and then train those answers, all right? Martial arts, when it's fun, it's dynamic problem solving. It's like, how do I stop them from getting up? Well, I can pin them, I can do this, I can do that, 20 things. How do I stop them from approaching? This, that, and 20 other things. It's like more solutions to problems that you have, and then past that is being able to explore and have fun. It's self-defense. We have some guys who are in law enforcement, going into law enforcement. They need to, in professional capacity, know how to fight. For many of you, you're here for self-defense. It's like, I hope I never have to use this, but in case I want to know these techniques well enough. Me, I'm a dork. I love doing this stuff. This is what I do for fun. All right. And whatever explanation of that, this is that foundation to get you to that point. We're priming the canvas so that you can paint whatever masterpiece you want to paint. So let's be day 1 and ask questions. No dumb questions, 90% of the time. All right. But when it comes to technique, like how could I address this? I'm gonna let Noah answer it from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, and then I'll follow up to our niece standpoint, and then we'll just go from there for a few minutes, all right? So, what questions you got? Like, hey, how would you address this situation? Any questions? All right. Oh,
I just want to know what's the follow-up after this, like, you know, when you'll start the JoJo.
yeah, for dojo ministries, with summertime, we tend to be a little bit on and off. Like, we'll have at least one more session in July. Then I'll be out of town for a little bit, but then usually every Sunday we're here. And then in terms of like the Combatives Primer seminar, we just got these mats out for the first time, which is a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to use them even more often. We're building up dojo ministries, still very young with our curriculum. But like the Combatives Primer, we're hoping to do this at least once or twice a year. We did a women's self-defense seminar back in October, and we're hoping to do that again as well, and maybe incorporate the mats again so that we can do a mix of Arnis and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu together in one space. And then likewise, maybe every quarter we had some mat time where it could be Jiu-Jitsu, because Dojo Ministry did just Arnis, that's just the primary art we're starting with. But then yeah, I'd love to have it where Noah gets a Sunday, and it's like we're just choking each other out. It'd be great. But yeah, that's our follow-up. We do that Sundays, 5 to 7 p.m. And then also, there's other martial arts schools around here. I know there's a Kaichi Kempo school nearby, and actually a couple. Those are great martial arts as well. Neto Gym, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that's where Noah's getting his experience from, and it's great. Continue with that. So,
It's a completely situational. Like obviously we have an open space, so like how would we like build on this if there's obstacles in your way, such as like walls or other people around you? Like how would you consider that?
Well, it depends on, like, are you on the ground or are you
On ground.
on the ground? If you're on the ground and you are in that position, like I said, the hip escape is a very good one for especially enclosed, just to get that distance from you and the opponent. Like I said, it depends on which position you're in. I'm gonna go off of the close guard position. That scissor sweep is very good. Even in enclosed, you can scissor sweep them. You can get them in a arm triangle and a leg triangle, especially even with limited room or space. Like I said, depending on what they have, if they are trying to kill you, if they're trying to punch you, it's all dependent. But if you are on the ground game, you could wrap around them. Like I said, this is day 0, but you can wrap around them. You can get on their back right away, and you can choke them out from there. Choke them out from basically any position, usually. So.
our resources follow-up was there's a company called Shivworks, and they specialize in close-type range fighting. So doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in a car, that's something they specialize in. But likewise, you can add in what we did yesterday with knife work in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So let's say I'm carrying a blade, right? And dog comes in tight and he's pushing me and he's got me pressed up against the wall, all right? People a lot of times will use a knife as a space maker. They're gonna cut away from the situation. So I'll come in here and I'll hip in, or here. Right? I'll cut, right? I'll have this here, right? He'll come in, I'll create that space, and even though he's trying to squish me and hug me, right? I'll go like that. Because that doesn't feel good, right? If he's got me pinned down, and he's got, all right, I'm in close guard as well, even in the car, right? If he's got me pinned down, I can come in here, blade, and hip in here. All right, and even if he's really in tight, I can come in and then hip in blade, okay? But again, it depends on the situation. If you're up against the wall, if you're in a car, if you're in the corner, you know, in your bedroom, kind of getting stuck there, in an alleyway up against a dumpster. There's principles that apply for all of that, and the principles become available to you when you're better at fighting. So you get better at fighting, and you start to see those principles. So, good question. Yes.
So, for the last time we practiced, say you were the person who actually got thrown off with the hip turn, what would you do to recover from that or get back and going?
So if it was a typical hip bump and he was on top, yeah. So if he was on top, primarily if I get hip bump, so you're gonna be on top. Boom, I hip up. The person who's attacking, he's gonna get up maybe faster than you, and he's gonna try to advance. But if I get hip bumped, either you can try and get him in your closed guard right here, or you would have to try here. You'll find that in a few minutes. I get thrown. Or here, switch. I'm sorry. So boom, I get thrown. You're gonna have to get on your elbow and
Or he bumps me. So I'm right here. I'm gonna have to recover by switching and putting that frame down right here. That's what I want to try. Where I'm gonna go right here. So if I get bumped, he goes right here, and he's advancing. So go ahead. This is what's gonna happen in real life. So he's gonna try and twist into it. So what you gotta do is right when you get hit, you gotta create that frame. And you gotta scoot out, or you gotta get back up, push him back down, go from right here. But he's going to be advancing as fast as possible, especially if you get bumped, because now you're on the bottom, and now he's trying to fight to get on top. So creating that space and ensuring that you're on your elbow. Because if you're right here, you're trying to get up, it's going to be way harder. But if you're on your elbow, you have this hand right here as well as everything else where you can get up. All right. So most important with that question, the answer is you have to fight your way up, first of all. Second of all, try and get that base first so you can get up from there.
Just a little fun answer to that. I'm on top and he bumps me off, but I want to keep him down, right? You know, angry Uncle Bob at the barbecue, and it's just like trying to control him, and he bumps you off, right? I stay here. If I can get confident, I'll put my shin right here. And I'll put all my weight on my shin, on his arm, like his face, right? That comes cool. And I can keep this pin right here for a moment and do something else. So that's just a fun answer to add it into the mix. But yeah, you start by building that base. You build that frame so that you have something to work with. Down here, you're flopping, you don't have any foundation. Here, you start having a foundation to move. I can't get my hips up from here. Now I've created space for my hips to move. So, any question?
So would you like repeat that, like maybe not like, obviously if you don't have a partner, like, you gotta practice by yourself, so would you focus on the foundation and no shoots?
Yeah, so there's jujitsu get up, there's hip escapes. So what we do in our gym is we do our hip escapes. So you literally sprint back and forth. We do a technical jujitsu stand up where you go from right here, we fall on our backs. So we're simulating if we get pushed down, we fall on our backs right here, when we go like this. So we're framing, we're keeping them off of us, and we're right here. We have another move called the butt scoop. We're just going back like this. But if you get up, you can go right here, you're just gonna flip up right here, and now you're back up. So it's simulating all of that. So if you wanna practice at home, literally all you do is get a mat, sit down, frame, get back up. You do the same thing with the hip escape, everything. Everything that I showed you guys is the basic repetitions that we do in the beginning of the class every single day.
And even if you want to just do the motion and repeat, you're here on all fours on your butt. Left foot down, right foot, hand down, lift the butt, and up. Then you switch. Right foot, left hand, butt up, switch. You can just do this to warm up. And likewise, if you're here and you want to get out, you can sit. Sit. Or you're here, you're sitting, and up. And up.
Any other questions? I don't know if it's posted on YouTube, sadly, but I'm planning on finding it sometime soon. But I got work right now, but well, hopefully soon I'll get back up.
Coach, you have something to say?
So, if you guys want to continue Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, then I would recommend Netto's and Apex. The first few days are free, and everybody's really welcoming back. So if you want to go there, please do.
I also train at Apex as well whenever I work in basketball. So sometimes after work I just go to her gym. Her gym is also available. It's very fun. Apex is in Vacaville. Netto's in Barry.
Thank you. That's all I want to say.
Set?
You got a question, Josiah?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. Yeah. Sadly, I lost by 1 point. The guy was a little bit heavier, but yeah, it is what it is. That's the fight game, you know. You win some, you lose some. The guy was a little bit more seasoned than me. It was my debut fight, and he won by a point. But it was a fun fight. Hopefully, I'll get back in there soon. It's a good question.
And a lot of the basics that Noah's gone over today, I haven't seen his fight yet, but I imagine you use a lot of the basics when you're on the ground. A lot of the basics we went over yesterday. Jab, cross, straight, hook, uppercut, just boxing techniques. Adding kicks, basic kicks. And it's like, you just, everything we've done here, a bunch of weapon stuff, You get us in the cage. Throw weapons in there, that's what law enforcement has to deal with on a regular basis. Throw pepper spray, that's what you're trying to get to so that you can bye bye the bad guys. So yeah, those basics apply in pretty much every circumstance. And the only way to put them into play is to get better at fighting. And this is our way to help you get better at fighting.
Any other questions?
Alright. With that, we're ending a little bit early, but I think we're all okay with that because it's been a long couple of days. But thank you guys for coming. This is our first time. It's not our first seminar, but it is our first 2-day seminar. It's been a lot of effort on everyone's parts, but thank you guys for being here. I hope the exhaustion's worth it. I do want to thank Noah, Shepard, Hanu, and then we also have JR, and then Ms. Tishway in the back over there, helping out with the admin side, just making sure you guys got all the emails, along with our camera guy, Jeff, his wife, Rachel in the back, who's also rolling with us today. Thank you guys for all your help today. I could not have done this without you guys, so you can give them a round of applause. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. So again, we're gonna have Dojo Ministry come to the fall. We're gonna kick on a more regular basis. I'm working on still revamping the curriculum and what we do because we're still young. We're going into finishing our second year, going into our third year, and we got matched now. So again, let's be day 1, and let there be a day 2 coming up, and a day 3, a day 4, day 5. You don't get to day 100 without first taking day 1. And we want to get you guys to day 100, day 1,000, day however many. And we hope that you guys continue to enjoy martial arts like we enjoy it and have fun with it. Hopefully you never have to use it. Or if you do, you're good at it. And you know you can go confident into those situations. I'll finish up with this analogy that I heard once upon a time. There's this girl, and she asked her brother one time for her birthday for a replica sword that she got a wall wide because she's maybe a Lord of the Rings nerd, so if you like that. And whenever she felt nervous and she lacked confidence, she would walk around in her room with the sword by her side and just like, when you carry a sword, you feel powerful. So like she got about to go to a job interview, so she would just carry her sword around in her room, feel confident. And you know, the reason being is like if you're the only person in the room with a sword, you're the most dangerous person in the room. You get to decide what you do and people don't get to say otherwise. If you're the one who knows Jujitsu in the room, you're the most dangerous person in the room. People don't get to tell you otherwise. And if you're the only one carrying a people opener in a room, you're the most dangerous person in the room. People don't get to tell you what to do. Now we pair it with character because we want it to be a good thing that you're carrying a knife or something else, or that you know Jujitsu. But the confidence from fighting isn't so that because we're hoping you guys will get into fights. It's knowing that, hey, you know what? I'm confident. I know my lines. I know my boundaries, and you don't get to cross them. And guess what? When I'm in the room, I'm a blessing to you because I have strength I can bless you. And that's why we're so passionate about martial arts, is because we see the skill set that goes into blessing them. And for us, we use martial arts to proclaim the gospel. Especially in how dangerous the world is nowadays, people want to feel safe. Martial arts make you feel safe. We tell you, hey, we can't guarantee you anything except Jesus. And we'll use martial arts to help people's lives be better, right? So that girl, she would walk around with a sword because it helped her feel confident and she felt like a warrior. And we hope we give you that confidence, but then, right now you just have the sword in your hand, the skills in your hand. We want you to know those skills, where it's not just decoration by your side, but something that's inherent in your skill set. So you can walk into whatever situations you need to walk into, and you have skill sets that will help you be better. And you'll have a clearer mind, you'll be used to the chaos of rolling and getting tired, and you can make the right decision. And that right decision is always going to line up with scripture. Right? The sword you should always carry is God's word in your heart. It says in Psalm 119, I carry your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And that's what we should carry ultimately. That's what we hope to give you with Dojo Ministry. It's skill in the hand, spirit, and a good spirit in the heart that honors God and is blessing to other people. Now, when I was in college, I would do martial arts with a friend. I wasn't sure what I was going to do martial arts for, and then go work at the cafeteria. And man, I was so fast with dispatching those plates. And it's like, oh, because I'm a martial artist, I'm a better server. And then, okay, because I'm a martial artist, I'm less nervous talking to people. Because I know they can't beat me up. Why am I nervous? Because I'm a martial artist and I can navigate these crazy situations, now it's like, how do I apply God's word to these situations? Just like, how do I apply a knife to this martial arts situation? So I hope you guys can take that away, and I think Noah can back that up. It's like, because he does jiu-jitsu and he's also doing karate and he trains with me here at dojo, it's like, I have more options when situations come my way. I have more clarity in how can I honor God when I get into situations. If you never use martial arts physically outside of training, you'll always use it to have a clear mind so that you can make the right decision and honor God. That's why we say here at the ministry, warrior up, honor God, and handle it. If you're a warrior, you're gonna have the clarity to honor God, and you're gonna handle whatever situation comes your way. So, again, continue on training with us, with someone else, via Apex, Neto, other martial arts schools. Just cool. Just be day 1, day 2 of 1,000 days of your martial arts journey that brings you closer to God because He gives you strength and bless others. All right. With that, thank you guys.